Thanks for joining us today on Commission Ed. I'm Reed. Today we're going to be talking about the Air Force Academy at Colorado Springs, Colorado.
The Air Force Academy is the first and foremost among the commissioning sources for the United States Air Force. It is where you can go to receive not only your bachelor's degree, but your commission as an officer in the United States Air Force.
Yep, and this education is not your typical four-year education. There's incredibly high standards to applying and getting accepted to the Air Force Academy. It's going to be an incredibly rigorous experience. Even your summers are taken, high physical fitness requirements, and the hits just keep coming. So let's dive deep today and talk about the Air Force Academy. First, we should probably talk about how you get there. This is not just some educational experience where you send in your application, you get a letter in the mail. Instead, you're going to have to go through a recruiting program through an admissions liaison officer.
And admissions liaison officer, or ALO, or ALO, is the key and the first step to getting into the Air Force Academy. If you want to go to the academy, you want to start early. We're talking like your sophomore, junior year while you're still in high school, maybe even before that, right, Reed?
You definitely want to be starting to think about that process, because this application is not just, do you have good grades? It's a whole lot more in depth than that. It's, do you have good character? Have you demonstrated leadership? Are you a member of your community? And some of those things are kind of late, if you're late to the game and starting there your junior, sophomore year. So something you want to be thinking about pretty early and often.
That's right. And the ALO, the admissions liaison officer, is going to be the person best positioned to help you work through all of that, to make sure that you're checking all of those different boxes that show you have met the requirements for leadership, for competence, for character, and that connection with your peers and the community around you.
In addition to the very high actual requirements for not only academics and all those things that Colin has already been talking about, you're going to require some sort of nomination. And these nominations are not just from a local religious leader or community leader. No, these nominations are coming from representatives duly elected to serve the nation: the president, vice president, and members of Congress.
Right. And the admissions liaison officer, the ALO, is going to help you to navigate that process to reach out to members of Congress, your state senator, members of the House of Representatives. These people are the ones who will give you the nomination necessary to get into the academy.
Something we have to mention on the outset: when you join and are accepted into the United States Air Force Academy, you're joining the military. And so you also have to meet the physical requirements that go in with anyone joining any branch of service. So in addition to the medical requirements, which again, non-doctors Colin and I are not going to cover, if you have questions about that, reach out and we can try and put you in touch with someone who can help. But there's pretty high physical fitness requirements. So they have to take a pretty stringent physical fitness assessment that's even above and beyond what's expected of your average everyday airman.
Right. But once you have passed those physical requirements, once you've got those nominations, once you've been accepted to the Air Force Academy, then the real work begins. You'll spend your first year learning how the military works, how to wear the uniform, as well as start working on your academics.
Yep. So as Colin mentioned, the first year is pretty tough. It starts off with a big one: 6 weeks of essentially basic training. It's going to be held there at the Air Force Academy, which is a beautiful campus, by the way, if you've ever been. And for the first year, you are locked down. You are focused on learning everything you can and becoming part of the Air Force.
But as you demonstrate your ability to succeed in the military environment, as you adapt, as you learn, as you grow, you'll be given more and more responsibility. And over the course of your time there at the academy, you'll turn into someone who is prepared to receive the commission as you lead your fellow cadets, serve in the Air Force Academy community, play sports, and do other and succeed in your academics.
And we've mentioned a lot of the downsides, maybe some of the costs. People are thinking, why would I give up 4 years of partying at my favorite university in order to attend the academy? Well, there's some definite upsides. First and foremost, it is a absolute incredible education. It's on par with any of our Ivy League institutions. Secondly, when you're accepted to the academy, you don't have to pay. Instead, you're actually getting a stipend. They're paying you to go to college. Now, it's not a whole lot, and for your first year as a freshman, you're not going to have any time to spend it. but it's equivalent to roughly about a $400,000 education that is paid for by the taxpayer.
And not only that, it comes with a guaranteed job upon graduation. You will receive first dibs on all of the career fields that are available in the Air Force at that time. Many of the officers that graduate from the academy go on to become pilots or other rated officers, but they are able to do many other jobs that the Air Force needs.
Also, an academy education comes with a lot of really great opportunities. Even during your summers, you can do exchanges where you will go and travel to other Air Force bases and shadow officers in their daily job. That's an incredible opportunity. Additionally, you can go to jump school. You can do powered flight. You can do non-powered flight. There's a lot of opportunities for members who attend the academy. And probably the biggest one is the community. We've known a lot of Air Force Academy graduates, and their class, their squadron, they are incredibly close to those people. And joining the military with that network built in is an incredibly powerful thing.
Yeah. The Air Force Academy is an incredible place just in general, but the relationships that you will build there far outstrip anything else that you might be able to do there as a student, as a cadet, and on into your career as an Air Force. It's really about the people. There's so much more that we could say about the Air Force Academy, but we just can't cover it all. So really the best thing for you to do is to get in touch with one of those admissions liaison officers, or even an officer who is already serving in the Air Force, and they can start to answer some of those questions for you.
Also, we did a podcast where we did a couple episodes specifically talking to someone who attended the Air Force Academy. We can put some links in the description below to where you can find that information. Captain Dave Rowe did a great interview, and he's got a lot more details about the incredible experience that is attending the Air Force Academy.
Yeah, and we will continue to put out some more information about the Air Force Academy and the other commissioning sources. So make sure that you like and subscribe to this channel.
And thanks for joining us today on Commission Ed. Go Air Force, beat Army, sink Navy. Colin, over to you.
Huh?